Today, in this Council from New York, Clark is going to be testifying about his condo. The Conservatives have said that they would fire him. What would they do?
Well, let's be really clear. This is about the Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau's party, wanting fancy things for their friends while Canadians can't even afford a home. That's what this is all about. And we've seen that again and again we've seen it with Liberals and with Conservatives. And we want to make sure that we're being very prudent and responsible with the way we spend our federal and public money.
And just broadly on parliamentary committees, the NDP have been kind of supporting the Liberals in committee dynamics when the deal was in place. Heading into this parliament, what should we expect in terms of the NDP's plans and strategy in parliamentary committees?
All bets are off. We've torn up the agreement with the Liberals. That means they can expect no help and no support from us. Anything that happens in Parliament will be based on is it in the best interest of Canadians. We'll be fighting to find ways to get more relief for Canadians, to get more help to Canadians. That's what we're going to be focused on. And we will use every tool we can to try to get more relief for Canadians.
Craig from the Globe and Mail, you mentioned grocery prices as a priority a few times. Previously, your call for price caps has been dismissed as unworkable by Mr. Champagne, the minister, who's on that file. What exactly are you proposing and how would it work?
Well, the price cap idea is something that Ms. Weber is an economist, well-established, who came out with this idea in the first place. It's basically taking on corporate greed in a direct way. We know that when people go to the grocery stores, they are feeling squeezed. We also know these corporate grocery stores have their own in-house brands, and they set prices all the time. They bragged about freezing prices. They can absolutely set prices. And so we're saying instead of asking them nicely and hoping that they're going to bring down prices, as the Liberals tried to do, as Justin Trudeau tried to do, he brought the CEOs and said, please, can you stabilize prices? That didn't work. We had his minister, Justin Trudeau's minister, come out and I don't understand how he could have said this with a straight face, but told Canadians they should do a better job of looking at grocery flyers as a way to lower prices for groceries, which was ridiculous and frankly insulting as well. And we're saying, no, none of that's going to work. What we need to do is impose a price cap. We can look at France as an example. They were able to lower the price of 5,000 essential food items, and our price cap would be the following. We look at essential food items, impose a price cap that you cannot charge more than a reasonable amount on these food essentials. That would immediately give Canadians relief when it comes to their groceries.
You know nothing about the economy, man. In history, every time a price cap has happened, it's actually resulted in more food chains closing. They have a very low margin of profit. Also, why did you vote for Loblaws to get a bailout from the government?
Want a carbon tax election because he's running on scrapping the consumer carbon price. Can you state clearly what your party's position is? If you form government, what would you do to the consumer carbon tax?
Well, let's also be clear about Pierre Poilievre's position.
That wasn't the question.
He wants to have free reign for big polluters to pollute as much as they want. His plan is to say there should be no penalty if a company pollutes into the river or into the water or into the air in their communities. So that's his plan. He wants big polluters to do whatever they want. No rules for them.
No.
We're saying that they should be paying their fair share. A company that pollutes and poisons the environment, there should be a price on that. There should be a cost to that. They shouldn't be able to get away with poisoning our air or water or land without any penalty at all. That's what Pierre Poilievre is proposing. When it comes to workers, though, we disagree with the approach of Justin Trudeau, who's tried to pit workers against each other. He set up a scenario where in certain regions, based on electoral politics, he's giving advantages to the Atlantic provinces over other parts of the country. We disagree with that. I've came out very strongly opposed to that approach. We want to see an approach to fighting the climate crisis where it doesn't put the burden on the backs of working people, where big polluters have to pay their fair share, they have to pay the price of their pollution, but it shouldn't be on working people's shoulders. And so we've been working on a plan, and we'll be releasing our plan, our vision for how we can do that in a stronger way in the coming months.
That's why you voted to increase the carbon tax every single
We'll
time.
let you know when the plan is ready, and we'll let you know more details about it.
I'm just saying, David Bird from CCC News. I'm going to ask you a question about foreign interference here. Given the revelations last week of the U.S. indictments, what role do you think Russian propaganda may have played in the 2021 Canadian election? And what must be done to prevent this Moscow-funded misinformation from meddling with Canadian politics?
I think this is something we have to take very seriously. And we've known in general of the real threat of misinformation, but specifically foreign interference in Canada. There's been numerous examples of it. We've fought and forced the government to bring in place a public inquiry on this because it's very serious. We take it seriously. To remind folks, the Conservatives initially wanted it to be a political game in committee, and we said this is not about brinksmanship, this is not about fighting political and scoring political points, this is about ensuring that our democracy is protected. That's been our position on this, and it remains our position. We believe that foreign interference is so serious that it should be taken with that same level of seriousness, and we need to see a real thorough investigation by the public inquiry. We want to hear those recommendations, and we want to see those recommendations, actions taken on them to ensure that we protect our democracy from foreign interference, whether it's directly getting involved in the political process or whether it's misinformation. I think it's an important additional concern that Canadians should have, that we don't want foreign governments purposely spreading misinformation, as a way to skew the outcome of our electoral politics. Like, that's also deeply troubling. And that's something that we should continue to look into, and then we should also be very quick to implement the changes that are recommended.
Which one of your MPs are compromised? Tell us which one.